What if I told you you can build $1 million business and do it in 12 months? Would you believe me? Well, that's exactly what we're doing. Let's make sure we get Instagram live on here. Let's go. Here we go. I think we're in that thing. Insta is live. Insta is live. Welcome back, hustlers. Welcome back, game changers. Welcome back to another episode of Building $1 Million Business. Listen, today is going to be action packed like they always are. Thank you guys for joining. I appreciate the love. We're on episode 26 today. 26. What does that mean? There's 25 additional episodes that you can go back and binge watch. If you're your first time here, thank you for joining. Welcome and thank you. I do these every single day, Monday through Friday, noon Central Standard Time. They're only 30-minute segments, and each segment is designed to do one thing: provide you the information to help you build your $1 million business as well. So if you're just now joining, I'm Patrick Hart, H-A-R-T, kind of like Kevin Hart. He's way funnier. He has way more money than me. But the thing that I have is I'm giving you the playbook to build your $1 million wealth system, or growth system, should we say. I'm also known as That Healthcare Guy across social media. So no matter where you're streaming from, you can type in That Healthcare Guy. You can find me. There's several different ways to connect with me. One is you can scan the QR code that's on your screen. It's either the top right-hand corner or there's a floating banner, or you can go to the link in the bio. You can follow your boy. You can sign up for the newsletter. Let me tell you something. If you guys are just now joining, why are we here? What are we doing? Why is this public? We're building $1 million playbook, and we're doing it from scratch, and we're doing it publicly. So there's no AI right here talking to you. This is actually me here live talking to you today. It's February 16, 2026, and it's exactly 12:01 p.m. Central Standard Time. And every day we're going behind the scenes to show you how to build $1 million playbook for your own personal wealth system as well. So who are a lot of the people that be following me, rocking with your boy? A lot of the people that be here, your mid-level professionals, small business owners, entrepreneurs, everyday go-getters, people who are dreamers, who are looking for freedom, who's ready to create some type of wealth for themselves so they're not dependent on other people to create income for themselves. So I thank you guys for joining. Today we're going to be streaming across LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, as well as TikTok. So as always, guys, thank you for joining. Let me go ahead and drop that in the chat right now. Just tell people welcome and thank you, welcome and thank you. Episode 26, 25 additional episodes. So go back and check those other episodes. Today, we're talking about scaling your newsletter. So you can apply this to, we've been talking about building our $1 million engine. Our engine that we're using this year is we're using a growth engine that's going to be our newsletter. For you, it may be your business. It may be your business website, whatever that is. So do the plug and play. Take a bit of information that I share with you. Take the tools, the techniques, and the strategy and adopt that for your particular business as well. So welcome, TikTok. I appreciate you, family. Welcome, Instagram. I appreciate you, family. Welcome, LinkedIn. I appreciate you, family. Welcome, YouTube. I appreciate you. And welcome, Facebook. I appreciate you. Thank you guys for joining. Drop your first name if you're cool with that. What platform you're streaming from. I say hi and thank you for joining. And then as you have questions in this particular episode, feel free to drop those comments and I'll try to work through those as we're working through the talking points as well. So let's get right into it. What are we talking about today? Today, we're talking about scaling your newsletter growth or apply it to your business. We're talking about scaling your growth. Take some of this information that I share with you. Let's input it, insert it into our system so we can grow our $1 million wealth system. We're no longer moving. Now we're moving from growth, right? I mean, because everything has always been about growth, right? But now we're going from growth to intentional growth, which is going to be something different. A lot of people, they want to scale, right? And I get that. Everybody wants to scale themselves, their business, but scale without math is just louder chaos. We don't want to be in the chaos. We want to be very clear on how we scale, what that growth system looks like so we can get to the next level. Listen, subscriber growth is not luck. Subscriber growth is engineering. And a lot of people want to grow their business, right? But they haven't figured out the engineering part to help them get to where they need to go to. So this episode is about scaling your particular business, and what the platform we're using is a newsletter. Scaling is different scaling is a different game from starting, right? Getting your first 1,000 subscribers, it takes effort, 100%. That's going to take real effort, right? But getting the next 40,000 subscribers, it takes infrastructure, right? So earlier growth comes from hustle, and this is where a lot of people get stuck. Your earlier growth, it comes from a hustle, but your scaled growth, it comes from systems. You hear this hundreds, thousands of times, and it's your first time coming in here. You're like, man, everybody's been talking about systems and systems and systems. What exactly is systems? I get it. Steve, I see you, family. Steve on LinkedIn is joining. Jamie on LinkedIn, I see you joining as well, family. Thank y'all for popping in. Listen, also, if you're a first-time viewer, first-time here, thank you for coming. What are we doing? Why did you land here? We're building $1 million playbook to show you how to scale from zero to $1 million. We have 2 goals this year. Our first goal is generate $1 million in revenue. Our second goal is to build a 50,000 ecosystem. We'll call our own ecosystem. What does that mean? That means we have 50,000 subscribers sitting somewhere that's falling or rocking with your boy. Why is that so important? Because once you build your ecosystem, you're no longer relying on algorithms to drive your growth. You're no longer relying on algorithms to provide visibility for yourself. Now you got your own built-in ecosystem. And once you have that, now you have leverage, now you have influence, and now you can start real conversations. So that's why we're here, and that's what we're doing in public. I see a lot of people joining. Thank you guys for joining. 2 goals that we have: $1 million in revenue and 50,000 subscribers. So first thing first, if you haven't signed up for the offline version of the newsletter, do that ASAP. Do that right now, because we're growing at the 50,000. Right now, collectively across LinkedIn and the offline version, we have right about 6,000, and that's been growing every single day. And we want that to continue to grow exponentially. So today, we're going to talk about the tools that's going to need it and the mindset that's going to be needed that's going to help us scale to 50,000 just here in 2026. I see a lot of new family members joining us, so thank you guys for joining. Listen, we talked about this before. Here's a growth check that I need you guys to understand. The goal is you need to always break down your goal into a math problem, okay? Scaling is always about math. It's always about the numbers, because if you don't understand your numbers, you're not going to be able to scale properly, right? So let me give you an example for my business. You can apply this to yours. Like, the goal is the 50,000 subscribers, right? Newsletter subscribers. What does that mean for me? And why do we need to back into the numbers? Because we need to break it down to a bite-sized, measurable outcome where we can predict what our growth is going to look like month after month after month, right? So for 50,000 subscribers for me, what does that mean? That means every single month I have to have a little over 4,100 people sign up for the newsletter. It sounds like a daunting task, right? That's a big number. That means every single week I got to have 1,040 people join the newsletter every single week, right? Sounds like a big number. And that means daily, every single day, that means I'm attracting at least 35 new people to sign up for the newsletter, right? Sounds like a big number, right? Now, but once we know this, and once you know this in your business, like what your goal is, we can back into that number. Now the goals become executable. Once we know what our big vision is, and then we break it down into certain milestones, now we know how to act on that particular goal. People, you know why people fail? People fail to grow because they chase motivation rather than tracking their inputs. And this is what I want to help you design for yourself too. We want to track the inputs right here, okay? So thank you for joining. I see more and more people coming. Sign up for that newsletter if y'all haven't. There's several different ways to do that. There's a link in the top right-hand corner. There's a floating banner depending on what platform you're streaming from, or you can go to the link in the bio and you can sign up for the newsletter. Do that ASAP. And today, if you're just now joining, we're talking about scaling your growth. And the growth we're doing today is through our newsletter. So let me run through this. I got 22 minutes, and y'all know your boy likes to talk because I try to pack as much valuable information into a 30-minute block as possible. So let's continue this episode right here. So subscribers, what does subscribers mean, right? Here's the real growth formula. If you're thinking about subscribers, this is what we need to be thinking about. Your traffic, your conversations, and your frequency. The better your traffic, the more, traffic, conversion, and frequency. So subscribers basically equals traffic, conversations, or conversions and frequency that become subscribers. If growth is slow in the beginning, there's normally 3 things that are broken in your system, okay? And we're going to drive into this really quick. One is going to be not enough people are seeing you, okay? So we got a visibility problem. The second is not enough people are trusting you. So we got to trust, meaning we have an image problem that's preventing us from moving forward. And then the third is going to be not enough opportunities to subscribe, meaning we haven't presented or given people enough ways or opportunities to subscribe from us. It's normally those 3 different things. This is separate from systems. Because once we get people in, then our systems designed us to create an eventual flow where we're providing additional value. That's different. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about why are we not getting subscribers, particularly you. Why are you not getting subscribers? Normally 3 things. Not enough people are seeing you, right? Visibility. Not enough people are trusting you is going to be image. And then the third is going to be not enough opportunities to subscribe. So we're going to run through that really quick. Each platform has a job to do, and you need to be made aware of this. If your job is to grow to $1 million platform, right, $1 million engine, You really cannot rely on one particular platform to help you do this. Visibility is going to compound, right? So for me, I'm going to choose 2 or 3. Even though I'm streaming across like Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and TikTok, all those are growth platforms for me, right? But I'm actually going to lean into like 2 or 3 very, very heavily, and they're going to provide me with a growth system and the tools that I need to get to 50,000 subscribers. I'm going to bring that up here in just a minute, so y'all stick with me how that's going to work. Y'all know this. A lot of small business owners, you also create content. Why are we creating content? Because we need to be visible. We need to educate people on our different and better story. We need to tell people about our products, solutions, and or services that we offer, right? So we create content. We're not going to be a content creator. We're not trying to be an influencer, but we're trying to get strategic with our content so it actually drives the momentum and the outcomes that we're looking for, right? So we understand short form videos, they equal discovery for us, right? Our lives, why am I doing a live each and every day? Because the lives, they build trust. When people see you every single freaking day, it adds trust for a lot of people, right? So that's going to be so important. And then once we post, our post leads to authority. A lot of people miss this. And then we create lead magnets. Our lead magnets leads to conversions. Once every channel has a defined role, growth speeds up dramatically. So you gotta implement this into your playbook. I see a lot of people joining. I see my TikTok family, guys. Thank you for joining. I'm fairly new to TikTok. I've only been using TikTok for like 6 months, so still trying to figure out effectively how to use it. But the other channels, hey, you guys have been rocking with me, so I thank you. If this is your first time here, make sure you sign up for the newsletter, and I would like to thank you for coming. But the other thing too is invite somebody else, a like-minded individual like yourself who's interested in growing, who needs some of the tools, the techniques, or the strategies to develop your $1 million playbook. Then you're in the right place. Invite them. I do these every day at noon. They're only 30-minute segments, and we're on episode 26, so that means 25 additional episodes. If you want to go back and tap in for free, you can see the other content. Go to the link that I have, the QR code, sign up for that. The second tab that I have after you go into the link, I created a playlist called Building $1 Million Business on my YouTube page. So you can go back and watch those before those disappear, okay? Remember, every channel has a defined role, so growth speeds up. I'm going to give you guys some insight which you can share in some of the strategies that I'm going to be using here in 2026 as well. So social media acceleration, let's talk about it. Content, and this is where a lot of people go wrong right here, okay? Follow me, follow your boy. Content should not end in engagement. A lot of people think I'm creating content and I want more and more people to engage with my content. I want more and more people to engage with my content. And newsflash, that's not what we're trying to do. Now, I'm gonna share something. Your engagement on other people's content, you should want to be engaging in other people's content, but your particular content should not end in engagement. Content should end in movement. There's a difference. Newsflash, give me the light bulbs. Come on, what are they talking? I'm dropping the T. I'm dropping the T today. Content, when you create your content, it should end in movement, not engagement. Your particular content in movement, not engagement. We're so focused on, I want people to engage with my content. I want people to engage with my content. You're missing the big picture for yourself. For yourself, your content should end in movement. Every post needs a next step, right? Have you heard of pathing before? Pathing, like bathing, but P-A-T-H-I-N-G, pathing. Pathing is where your viewers become your followers become your readers become your customers, okay? This is the mindset that we need to have when we're growing our $1 million framework. If you don't guide people along the journey, then they stay stuck as spectators. That's not what you want. We don't want spectators. We want real customers in our business, all right? So remember, our viewers go to followers, our followers go to readers, our readers go to customers, and it goes in that particular order, right? And our content shouldn't end in engagement. It should end in movement. Conversion improvement. Let me talk about this really quick. Small tweaks beat viral moments every single time. Here are some examples. You want to have specific CTAs, which call to actions, because they convert better than generic ones, okay? Your problem-based posts, they convert better than motivational posts. A lot of people think, man, if I motivate some people, I create some motivational content, I get a lot of people to see it. Great, it's true. You may get a lot of people to see that content, but it's not moving the needle for your particular business. Remember, the whole reason we became an entrepreneur, small business owner, an everyday hustler, a side business hustler, whatever, is so we can create revenue for ourselves, right? And every time you create content that actually gets people just to like you, then you're viewing yourself as a creator, but you're not moving the needle when it comes to dollars and cents, right? So we want specific CTAs, problem-based posts, they convert better than motivational posts. Educational content, it converts better than entertainment alone. And then remember this, we're not trying to be famous. That's not what we're trying to do. Just because when people see you out there putting yourself out there, think, oh, he's trying to be a content creator, or he's trying to be famous, he's trying to get a little glow up, a little clout. No, that's not what it's about. We're creating a visibility for ourselves because we already knew that. Once viewers turn into followers, followers turn into readers, readers turn into customers. We're not, what we're trying to do is repeatable. Every single week, every single day, people know exactly what you and your services is going to do. Once you become repeatable, then it creates trust, right? And then we're creating a framework. That creates a predictable subscriber flow. Subscribers begin to follow you once they know your predictability. They know exactly what you're about each and every time. Hold on, pause. I see more people joining, and I would be remiss if I didn't say thank you guys for joining. We're on episode 26. We're talking about scaling your newsletter growth, or it could be your business growth. I'm giving you some of the insights, some of the tools and systems that I'm going to use here in 2026 to help me get to those 50,000 subscribers. So if you're just now joining, thank you. Invite other people. I do these every day at noon Central Standard Time. They're only 30-minute segments. The other 26 can be found on my YouTube page called Building $1 Million Business, or you go to my LinkedIn page underneath the events tab. The other 25 is there as well. You can watch those before those disappear. Okay. So the other thing too is strategic investments. Okay. So let's talk about where I'm getting ready to invest some substantial money here in 2026 and why it's different from probably the way you would invest your money. Okay. Here's the thing. A lot of people right now, okay, you got a platform, you got a landing page, you got a website, you got all these things, right? So what's the next logical thing for you? For a lot of people, it's now I want to do paid ads. I want to spend a whole lot of money into paid ads. But most people lose money here. So let me caution you and let me pause you and let me share my strategy, and you can decide what you're going to do with your ad spend, okay? So most people lose money on ad spends because you know what ad spends do for you if you're not ready? They amplify a weak funnel. So that means you want to spend all these dollars and cents, but your funnel is still weak. And so the only thing you're going to get is amplification of a weak funnel. We're not there yet. We don't want to spend money. Even though we kick this thing off January the 11th and we're like, 35, 36 days into this, I'm still not ready to spend money yet because I know I have a leaky faucet, right? So let's talk about this. When you spend money and you're not ready for it, they're going to amplify a weak funnel and not a strong one. Traffic is going to multiply whatever exists on your particular page. Meaning, if you good conversions and if you start spending money and you got a good funnel, they become great. However, bad conversions become expensive if you're not ready for that ad spend yet. I've talked to people that spend hundreds, thousands of dollars on ad spend and their business is still not moving the needle. And they wonder, well, Pat, why am I not growing? Why is it not growing? It's because you got a leaky system. Somewhere in there is a leaky system. And we have to fix the leak first before we start pouring money into this business. Remember, we're building $1 million playbook, $1 million platform. So let's fix the leak. Let me tell you exactly what I'm about to do, right? So that's why before I get into ad spend, this is me personally, I'm not sugarcoating anything. I'm going to invest into a growth coach for Instagram. Now, LinkedIn, I already have some tools in place. I have a pretty substantial following, over 30,000 followers on LinkedIn, right? And I even having a decent following on Instagram. But remember, I told you there's going to be 2 or 3 channels that I'm really going to lean into that's going to actually help me move the needle, create visibility and trust that's going to help me drive my 50,000 subscribers, right? So LinkedIn, I got some tools in place for that. So LinkedIn is great. But I'm going to invest personal money, $12,000 just into an Instagram growth coach. And a lot of people think, damn, that's a lot of money. And it is a lot of money. But remember, half the battle of when you create your business is strategic. Like, where are we going to do our biggest ad spend? We're going to invest the most dollars and cents, where we're going to invest the most time. And for me, it's going to be Instagram and LinkedIn. And then I'll probably throw in another channel like YouTube here in a minute. And I'll talk about my YouTube strategy at some other point. But for me, sometimes you need a coach to help you get unstuck or help you identify opportunity for yourself. So for me, for my Instagram, I'm going to spend $12,000. I'm going to do it this week on a growth coach specifically for Instagram. So if you're rocking with your boy today, now track my numbers. I have about 69,000 followers on Instagram, right? About 69,000. My goal is to get that over 300,000, and I want to do that fairly quickly because it's about creating visibility for myself. So I'm going to invest $12,000. It's going to be my first big investment onto a growth coach specifically for Instagram. You know what I'm not paying for? I'm not paying for information. Okay. So when you start investing in coaches, you're not paying for information. You're paying for compressed learning time, right? This is why people invest money into coaches. You're compressing your learning time and then you're adding your value a lot more quickly, right? A coach helps you skip those months of trial and error. A lot of people think, man, I'm fine being a solopreneur. I want to do everything myself. That's great. Stick around, keep doing that and see how long that lasts you. See how much your business actually drive, how much revenue you actually drive for your particular business. Sometimes you need to partner with the people that can help amplify your reach and accelerate your growth quicker than trying to figure things out yourself. And this is when a coach comes in. So I'm going to invest $12,000 into a growth coach specifically for Instagram. The goal is to take my followers from about 70,000 to about over 300,000. And I'm going to do it in a very quick amount of time. So you rock with your boy, continue to watch the growth, and I'm going to show you how that unfolds. Speed is your business advantage. Anytime you're growing anything, especially a goal like we have, $1 million in revenue and 50,000 subscribers, we need to have speed, right? And that's why I'm not investing money in the ads yet. I got to fix some of the things that are broken. Here's my second big investment that I'm going to do. You can decide to do whatever you want to do, but let me share with you what I'm going to do. I'm also going to invest an additional $5,000 into a professional landing page. Now, if you go to my LinkedIn, you go to my newsletter, and you say, I got a pretty nice website. Now it's decent. It's decent. I like it. It's okay. It's generated the results that we've got this far. But now I'm going to go to a professional landing page, meaning it's going to be separate from what you see on LinkedIn. It's going to be separate from what you see on the newsletter, right? Because this is what a lot of people get this wrong. We need to understand the value of the landing page. The landing page is not a design asset. A lot of people, they're really, really good at going to Canva or whatever tool you use and creating these beautiful landing pages, and it's a nice design asset, which is cool. It looks pretty. But that's not our goal. Remember, it's $1 million in revenue and 50,000 subscribers. So strategically, what am I going to do to get there? I'm going to create a professional landing page. It's a decision environment is what I'm creating. I'm creating an environment where people can make decisions faster and it drives revenue. Let me talk a little bit about it more. So it's going to the headlines remove confusion, right? Because we want people to be crystal clear on what the outcome is once they click on the link or they subscribe to anything. Our proof removes doubt. We want our landing page to provide tons of proof because it's going to remove doubt from people making a buying decision. Our CTAs, call to action, they remove hesitation. And then we're not decorating the page. We're removing friction. So this is why I'm going to invest in another $5,000 in a landing page. So if you're doing the math, you're following me. We got $12,000 we're going to put on a coach. We got $5,000 we're going to put on a landing page. So that's $17,000 I'm getting ready to spend probably this week to help me with my growth system. And a lot of people think, man, why don't you just put that money in the ads? Well, I still have leaky faucets. I have leaks within my systems, right? And those are the things I need to work on behind the scenes before I start throwing ad dollars into a growth system, right? But if I have a coach that's going to help me with visibility on Instagram, and I have a landing page that has clear CTAs and added benefits for somebody, then that's actually going to help me from a revenue standpoint as well. And I'll show you more about that when that thing's built. All right. So fundamentally, here's a scaling principle I want to share with you guys. You always want to optimize first, and then after you optimize, now you amplify. Okay. Most people reverse it. You know what they do? Most people, they amplify first, and then they wonder why things are not working. You're trying to amplify a broken system. You cannot amplify if it's actually broken. We're choosing patience, right, to create velocity later. So this is where you have to be patient, especially if you're building $1 million framework. You need to be patient in the way you grow as well. Okay. I see you, Jamie. Jamie from Arlington, Texas. That's what's up, Jamie. Thank you for joining. Yeah, appreciate it. All right, so I'm about to wrap this thing up really quick. I got 5.5 minutes. Let me come into this. So preparing for ads, predictable growth engine. Let's talk about our predictable growth engine. I want you to think like this, guys. All right, and guys, just a general return. I know I got a lot of women on the call as well. Ads should not test your business growth. This is what a lot of people are doing. You're investing money on ad spend, and then you don't have the return on investment, right? And so you're testing your business at this point. They should accelerate a proven behavior. If our behavior hasn't been figured out yet, there's no point of spending money into ads yet because we're not ready for that growth. Once you know these numbers right here, this is going to help you think about how you spend your money. We should know how much it's going to cost us per subscriber, right? We should also know our conversion rates. How much is it going to cost us to convert somebody to become a subscriber? We should also know the value each subscriber has. Meaning, if I got somebody to subscribe to my newsletter and I had that and they made one purchase for $5, right? That's cool. But the lifetime value of that particular customer, you need to know that, right? So the goal for us is we want to take a customer that, it costs us $3 per acquisition to get, $3 or $5 per acquisition to get. We need to actually turn that customer into not only a paying customer, but we need a recurring customer that actually has high value. So we want to take like a $5 customer and we want to turn them into someone who invests like $150 per customer. This is when your math starts stacking up. If you do not know these numbers for your particular business, it's going to be hard for you to grow. So we need to scale appropriately, okay? Growth becomes calculated instead of emotion once you know these numbers. Cost per prescriber, your conversion rates, and your value per subscriber. Now, once you know this stuff, now scaling, once we know these numbers, scaling becomes a finance decision, not a marketing gamble. This is where a lot of people fail. Small business owners, entrepreneurs, you create your business, you start ad spending all this money, you're hopeful for a return on investment. We don't know how much it costs to get a subscriber. We don't know how much it costs our conversion rates. We don't know the value per prescriber, and you keep spending money. But once you know those numbers, now I can start scaling because now I know my numbers. I can spend money. I know every time I spend $100 on this particular thing, I'm going to get 35 new customers. Those 35 new customers is going to lead to a value of $150 per customer. So that $100 and I got 30 customers, we can do 30 times 150 and you start doing the math. That may equate to what, $450, $500, whatever. So that $100 is going to bring me $500. You see how it becomes a decision based off of money because we understand our numbers. So it's going to be important for you to know that as you're scaling your $1 million framework as well. Here's an important mindset shift that I want to share with you really quick. We're not buying subscribers, okay? Because a lot of people think when you do ad spends, you're buying subscribers. No, that's not what we're doing. You're buying future revenue. This is a business. We're driving a business. So we're buying future revenue. That changes how you evaluate your ad spend. Hopefully it does for you because it definitely does for me, right? And I'm about to end this thing up really, really quick. But let me close this thing out. Listen, this is how we need to think about scaling, okay? We start slow at the beginning, but then fast at the right time, meaning it's got to be the right time for us. We fixed our leaks. We got automation in place. We have real systems in place that's going to help us drive our growth. This is when we start going fast. We're not ready to go fast yet. We're still going slow. And then if you start rushing is going to burn your money faster. And then you have no staying power in the game. Your consistency drops off. Now you need another LLC. Now we need a totally another business. Just because you've lost that business, we wasn't doing it right. All right. So we want to do that. Listen, we're not, or at least me, I'm not trying to go quickly. Remember, I got a year loan to get $1 million and 50,000 subscribers. So for me, this is going to be a slow growth, but it may feel like that because that's a big number. $1 million is a big number. 50,000 subscribers is a big number, but we're growing permanently, right? So we're being very strategic. We're investing in a coach. We're investing into a landing page. We're going to drop about $17,000 this week. And it's going to take some time for that to play out because once you invest money in those things, you got to build them. Then you got to actually start doing the work. You got to incorporate all your designs, all that good stuff, right? So if you're just now joining, the goal is $1 million in revenue, 50,000 subscribers. We're right at about 6,000 in a short period of time, right? If you haven't signed up for the newsletter, sign up for it ASAP. I'm going to leave you guys with this. Audience growth isn't about posting more. A lot of people think I need to post more. I need to post more. I need to post more. That's not how you grow, okay? It's not about posting more. It's about removing friction from discovery to commitment. How do people find you? How do they commit to your products and or solutions? Once your friction disappears, growth accelerates on its own. Things begin to compound. So this is what we're trying to get to, and we're not there. Remember, we're only, 35 days in this. We kicked this thing off January the 11th. It's February 16th, 2026, episode 26. Listen, I'm going to close this baby up. Thank you guys for rocking with your boy. You know, I like to talk the whole time because I want to provide as much value as possible. If it's your first time here, thank you for coming. Sign up for the newsletter. If you haven't signed up for the newsletter, I'm growing that baby to 50,000. Your support means the world to me, right? Plus, you can help me identify some holes and some leaks that I have in my system as well. Another thing that I brought on board is guest articles. If you have a business, right, go to my newsletter. Go to my newsletter. If you got a business, products, and or services, go to my newsletter page. Go to the guest services page. At the very bottom, there's a button where you can submit a guest article. If I like your guest article and it follows the actual playbook of what I'm looking for, you may be featured in my next episode that's coming up. I drop my episodes every Tuesday and Friday, right? So you may get one of those spots. Go to that guest services page or guest articles page, submit your information and come to me. I'll review it. If you're close, but it's not right, I'll give you some feedback and tell you what we need so we can tweak that up. But if it's not right, I'll also let you know, hey, this is not going to meet the needs of what we're looking for. And then we can push to move forward. And you can work on creating yours as well. All right. So, guys, thank you. I'm Patrick Hart, H-A-R-T, known as that healthcare guy. Follow me across all the channels. And as always, hey, let's keep hustling. Let's keep getting it. Thank you guys for joining. I'll see y'all tomorrow.